The Prince of Darkness deserves a pumpkin, so today I'm carving an Ozzy Osbourne tribute complete with a bat. For those that don't know, Ozzy famously bit the head off a bat on stage, so I thought that would be the perfect touch. I started by finding a photo of Ozzy I liked, then used AI to add the bat. The first version was a bit tame, so I asked for a scarier one with its mouth open. That worked. I'm way happier with the second version. Even though it changed Ozzy slightly, it's good enough for carving. I then took the design into Photoshop, where I built a multi-layer stencil to map out all the tonal changes. I've put the stencil and reference picture on my website as a download, so check that out if you want to try this one for yourself. I'll put a link below. As usual, I transferred the design using transfer paper and a ballpoint pen. I've linked to a more in-depth stencil making tutorial at the end of this video, which shows you 3 different ways to make a stencil. Then it was time to carve, starting with the bat. For the fur, I used a lino cutter to make light strokes in the direction of the hair before carving deeper. For the wings, I wanted them fairly dark, so I just scraped away the waxy surface, not going very deep at all with this one. Honestly, I could have spent a lot longer on the bat, but felt this was solid enough to just move on. Next came the hands. They're always tricky, and I still need more practice at these. It's very easy to brighten areas up too much, so you lose some of the perspective on the fingers, particularly when they're in this orientation of the fingers pointing towards you. Ideally on this one, I would have loved to have had more contrast between the light and the dark areas, but I do feel like I'm getting better with hands, and definitely something I'm going to keep on practicing. Maybe I'll do a video completely on hands at some point once I feel like I'm nailing them. For the face, I worked from the cheeks across, blending light into dark gradually. I wasn't overly thrilled with the glasses on this one. Getting perfect circles on a bumpy pumpkin isn't easy, but I kept the shades dark and only suggested the eyes behind them, which for a change made the eyes much easier. For the hair, I used my fine 1.5mm lino cutter to carve interlacing lines, adding brightness and more layers for texture as I went. I then carved the other hand. The rest of his hair and the other wing on the bat. I also started to give the jacket some details. I brightened the whole thing up by hollowing out thinner from the inside. I often see people carving too deep on the pumpkin from the front to make their design brighter. You don't need to do that. It's way easier if you just make the design brighter by hollowing it out from the inside instead. And as usual, I added some black Sharpie pen in some areas, smudged it with my pen just to soften it slightly. This adds just a little bit more contrast to the pumpkin. This one took about 8 hours. There's always parts I think that could be better in my pumpkins, but overall I'm happy with this one, and it's inspired me to push myself further on my next pumpkins. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to see what I carve next.